Good morning. Welcome to our Mandala universes. My name is Amy, and I'll be guiding us through our time today. We're just going to wait, and people are going to join. If this is your first time finding this video, then stick around. Hi, Carol. I just went to wave to you. There's no wave feature here. I just had the last couple bites of my granola after I spilled it all over the floor. So now I've got granola in my teeth. How are you, Carol? And someone else. Welcome. Today is Saturday, the 13th of September. And yeah, Ms. M is here. Hi, Ms. M. Pamela's here. Hi, Pamela. Yeah, we were, I think Jenny was supposed to lead, but she's not quite set up on this platform yet, so you get me here today. Carol says, all is well here. Just enjoyed an awesome thunderstorm this morning. Now the sun is out. Crazy. Yeah, it rained here in the middle of the night, I think at like 2:30 and then again at 5:30. And we just walked down by the lake and it looked like rain again. And so we looked at the radar and I saw a big storm over Chicago. Ms. M says, sorry to miss Jenny too. Yeah, I'd rather have Jenny leading today than myself. We'll get her up and running. And soon she'll join here from YouTube, which will be wonderful. So, Pamela says, darn for Jenny, and it's nice to see me. Thank you. It's good to be here. This will likely be the last time I'm leading from my parents' house. We're about to hit the road again. Not sure of our direction yet. Carol, I'll let you know. And Elaine's here and says, hi, sunshine. And Jenny's here. Thanks so much for rescuing me. Oh, Jenny, you're welcome. Although I don't know if you heard me or not, but I'd rather you be here than me. But I'm happy to be here too. Kathy's here. She says, hi. Pamela wants to know when we leave for the adventure. I think we're leaving tomorrow. Hopefully all goes well. And yeah, I'm ready. This stationary life has been a long break, much welcome, a lot of time with family and friends, but I'm ready to be moving again. So Pamela says, Jenny, looking forward to you leading real soon. Carol says, let me know if you're heading this way. And Kathy says, hi. I already read that. Actually, she says, hello. So I'm going to start us out with a reading and a grounding as I continue to pick the granola out of my teeth. I'm sorry for that. I found this book, Mary Oliver, What Do We Know? And I was kind of thumbing through it, and I found one called Last Night the Rain Spoke to Me. So since it rained here last night, I thought we'll see what that poem has for us. But Jenny says, "Oh, thanks, folks. Can't wait to get sorted and lead super soon." We agree. Let's start with some grounding. And actually, let's start with a reading. I need a little bit of a cue to slow me down to then go into the grounding. Unless anyone has check-ins, we can do our check-ins after the grounding. But feel free to write them in, and then we'll check in. Last night, the rain spoke to me. Last night, that was the title. Last night, the rain spoke to me, slowly, saying, "What a joy to come falling out of the brisk cloud, to be happy again in a new way, on the earth." That's what it said as it dropped, smelling of iron, and vanished like a dream of the ocean into branches and the grass below. Then it was over. The sky cleared. I was standing under a tree. The tree was a tree with happy leaves, and I was myself. And there were stars in the sky that were also themselves. At which moment, my right hand was holding my left hand, which was holding the tree, which was filled with stars and the soft rain. Imagine the long and wondrous journeys still to be ours. What a beautiful poem, and a reminder of how important it is to take moments to recognize the everyday things that happen around us. Breathing in and out, finding comfort in your positioning. I'm sitting on the floor. I'm going to straighten my back. I have crossed legs. My hands are palms down on my thighs. And I have a soft gaze. Breathing in and out through the nose. I'm actually very grateful for being able to breathe in and out of my nose. I really haven't had the best breathing the last 3 days, but today I feel pretty good. One of those small things that we don't always take notice of is our breath. But it just keeps us going day after day. Breathing in and out. Maybe you need small movements. I know a lot of people have tight necks. Mine's often tight. I'm going to dip it side to side, maybe roll it, get the crunchies out. They're never really going to leave. Breathe in joy. And exhale joy too. There's enough of it in this world to go around. You just got to remember that it's there. And it's something to be discovered and shared. Breathing in and out. Just allowing it to be easy. easy like the breeze. And I'm going to read the poem one more time. Last night the rain spoke to me, slowly, sang, "What a joy to come falling out of the brisk cloud, to be happy again in a new way on the earth." That's what it said as it dropped, smelling of iron, and vanished like a dream of the ocean into branches and the grass below. Then it was over. The sky cleared. I was standing under a tree. The tree was a tree with happy leaves, and I was myself. And there were stars in the sky that were also themselves at the moment, at which moment my right hand was holding my left hand, which was holding the tree, which was filled with stars. And the soft rain, imagine, imagine the long and wondrous journeys still to be ours. Sometimes I think poetry is better the more you read it. All right, if you were able to find a quiet, relaxing position, I encourage you to stay there if it feels comfortable, or to join me in filling my mandala pages. If anyone is still here who this is their first time, I'm happy you're here. I keep my mandalas in this little notebook. Every day is different. Sometimes they're abstract, sometimes they're colored, sometimes they're not. And I've drawn my circle with the inhale and an exhale. Yesterday's very simple. It's a representation of how you're feeling in the moment, what you're looking at, whatever you want, what you're thinking about. Doesn't have to be any one thing. And I'm going to catch up on some comments. Okay, Jenny says, "What a delightful poem. Checking in, delighted to be here with you all." Ms. M says, "Love." And Michelina's checking in, sleepy and feeling forward momentum. And Pamela says, "And finding joy wherever we find ourselves. I think of you, Amy, being the raindrop leaving the cloud, your parents, to land in the grass and be with the trees." Ah, yeah, that is a nice picture. And you know what? The cycle is going to bring me back to that cloud someday. Pamela says, "Checking in, feeling like I traveled last night and I am on a different time zone." Interesting. Michelina says, "I forgot you were even sick. Hopefully you feel as good as you look." Thanks. I actually feel quite good. I walked this morning. I have not left the house in the last 3 days. I just had this crazy sinus headache. Just extreme congestion, and I went through a whole box of tissues, and I couldn't breathe through my nose very well. And one of the days I had really bad period cramps too, so that was not fun. It's like add insult to injury, right? Elaine says, "Enjoying watching the chickens make chicken-sized holes as they roll around. Bath time, pure joy." Elaine, I need to come and visit you and hang out with your chickens. I really miss chickens. And Michelina says, "Can anyone recommend a good watercolor fixative spray?" You know what, Michelina? I just use one that I use for all of my painting and stuff. I think it's a 3M product. It's black with a green bottle. And the last time I was at the store, they're like, "Just use hairspray." I think I have 2 bottles of it, and if you want one, I'm happy to bring one for you. Let me know. Jenny says, hi, Miss M. Love. And Elaine says, ooh, I traveled in my dreams. I took my husband's grandma for a walk, arm in arm. And I'm going to echo what Michelina says. Just love that dream, Elaine. That is a beautiful dream. I love when you can visit people in your dreams. Dreams are so cool. I've had some interesting dreams. Lately. McLean says, thanks for the offer. But a retreat gift requires an advance. Well, then I cannot deliver. Kathy says, checking in strong. I've been weightlifting. Kathy, that is fantastic. I'm so happy for you. I'm a person who I'm pretty active, so I like doing things. So the thought of like going to gyms and weightlifting has never been something that excites me. But as you know, as we travel, maybe you don't know, we joined Planet Fitness, a gym. Mostly because they have showers. And the added benefit is that I really enjoy going to the gym and weightlifting. And when you are in a regular routine of going to the gym, I should say, I feel so strong and it feels really good. So I know what you're feeling. I can understand how you might be feeling, and I'm really happy for you. Michelina says, Kathy, you go. Ms. M says, bottle of what? A bottle of fixative, I think. You're getting lots of go Kathys. And Kathy says, that's where I go. We have a brand new one here. I'm going to have to check it out. I do like a good one. It's such a great deal, too, I think. I don't know if you just have the local membership or the traveling one. The traveling one might make sense for you with your travels. But I find them all to be pretty clean and well equipped with really friendly people working. So it's a good place to be. And Jenny says it does feel truly magical to meet people in your dreams. Kathy, I totally need to get on that with the strong arm. It's an empowering feeling. And as I've been here at my parents' house, I am a witness to aging. My parents are in their 70s, and it just makes me want to get and remain strong so that hopefully as I age, I have maybe less body ailments. We can never know, but we can always try, right? Michelina says, I wish the one in San Francisco was closer to my house and had an Olympic saline pool. Yeah, I think one of the reasons they can keep their prices cheap is because they don't do the water. But that sure would be nice. That would make me very happy. What is the name of our poem? It is called Last Night the Rain Spoke to Me. Carol says, I can relate, Kathy. Lifting weights made me feel powerful and confident too. What a good feeling, huh, Carol? Kathy says, right, $20 a month. I have the traveling one. Got a great deal before they actually open. Nice. Yeah, I think mine's 25. But Marshall and I can both use it. But only I get the massages. Nicolina says, yeah, she pays a ton, but if I break it down per visit, it's still totally worth it. It is. And, you know, we all have a set amount of money, and we just get to allocate it how we want. So if something's important to us, we try really hard to prioritize that. And, you know, make cuts in other places. Michelina says massages. And yeah, they have massage chairs at Planet Fitness. So with the upper level membership, you get massage chairs, these water type beds that put jets on you and they're heated, and unlimited tanning. I do not go tanning. And they also have an infrared machine that I've tried once or twice. It's kind of weird, but jury's still out on if infrared is good for you or not. Yeah, Kathy says Asia comes as my guest too, but he can't use the spa. Marshall and I had to decide who was going to be the member and who was going to be the guest. I went out. But some places are very nice and they allow him to use the chairs too. Like our home gym is actually in Augusta, Maine. So sometimes, like, where were we? Somewhere in Florida. And the woman's like, y'all are from Maine? We're like, mm-hmm. And she's like, you traveled so far. She's like, do you want a massage too? And Marcia's like, I sure do. I also missed a message from Michelina that says, oops, I forgot to draw, just sipping chai and chatting here. Yeah, my drawing is not progressing very quickly. It's more just putting swirly blobs of paint on my book and sipping chai and chatting too. Kathy says those chairs are surprisingly good. They are. And Michelina says, oh yeah, we have those, but not tanning. New pink salt sauna is going to be amazing for warming my bones in the winter. Yeah, that is going to be amazing. And honestly, for you, warming your bones for, 8 or 9 months of the year is going to be really nice. Can you bring guests? I'll have to come visit you too. Miss M says, I'm so distracted. I keep hearing only half the convo. Oh, Miss M, you've always got a lot going on. I'm looking forward to hopefully being a witness to your relaxing in a couple weeks. Carol says, my mandala is a rain-soaked tree. That is so appropriate for you, Carol. I love it. And Jenny says, my mandala is rain too, Carol. And Kathy says, my mandala, blues and greens in the last line of the poem. The last line is a beautiful one. And the soft rain, imagine, imagine the long and wondrous journey still to be ours. I might write that in my mandala too. And I think I'm going to add some rain. Miss M says, not sure relaxing is possible. Oh, all right. We all have a task. Pamela says, my mandala is rain on the side of a tree. I'm literal today. I've had a couple literal ones lately, Pamela. The beauty of our mandalas is the phases that they go through and in. And Jenny says, oh, Miss M, with lots of hearts. About the relaxing. Sam, you know the saying. Never mind, I don't even know what saying there is about relaxing. If anyone knows the saying about relaxing, type it in the comments. Kathy says, leaving for mom and dad's on Tuesday, getting home the following Tuesday, then Pamela and Deb arrive on Wednesday, retreat starts Thursday, and then I fly to Chicago the next Monday. Yeah, we're gonna have to get you some relaxation at the retreat too, Kathy. Say hi to the Oregon coast for me. I got a taste of the Washington coast a couple weeks ago, and it was rejuvenating. Really, truly rejuvenating. Miss M says, wow, Kathy. Jenny says, wow, Kathy. All action. Pamela says, I'm tired reading that, Kathy. Wowza. When you are with us, you can just be. Yeah. And I need to touch base with you all about me coming to you too to help carry food. I don't have a people hauler, but I have a food hauler. Because we don't want to have to bring 2 vehicles. Or you to have, whatever. Offline combo. Carol says, Kathy, Chicago, if there's any downtime, let me know. Would love to see you. And then Kathy says, somehow my travel ends up happening all together so often. Comes in waves, doesn't it? Some things just feel that way. And they are that way. It's 11:28. We have about 2 minutes. A lot of you have already checked in with how your mandalas have transpired and any words that may have come, but if anyone has not and they want to share, do let me know. I will read them in the last 2 minutes. I think my words are something about flow. Michelina says, raindrops received by leaves. And Pamela says, I'm also traveling, meeting, retreat, then staying with my son on Sunday, and then into Guerneville in the Redwoods for 4 days, and then helping her son move to a new place in San Francisco for 2 days. Jenny writes, Jeepers, Pamela. And Deb is here. Hello and goodbye, my friends. Hi, Deb. I'm happy to see you. You know, you just crossed my mind a couple minutes ago. So here you are. And you're getting all the hellos, Jenny and Kathy and everyone. Cheryl's here too. Hi, Cheryl. It is now 10:30. I've almost had my whole cup of chai with you all. Shared some poems, definitely grounded myself, laughed a little bit, drew a little bit. What a good start to my day. Miss M is sending hugs, and Cheryl's getting all the hellos too. Hi, Cheryl. All right, I think the other day, Michelina said she was gonna kind of package up her mandala and hold it close to her heart for the day. I'm going to do a similar thing and just carry the joy that you all bring to me with me for the day and spread that joy to all that I encounter today. Carol writes, safe travels all, and Kathy says, love you all so much. With that, big hugs. All right, bye for now.